Hey guys, Jonathan Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we will be reviewing The Incredibles. Now, The Incredibles is directed by Brad Bird and features Craig T. Nelson, Holly Hunter, Sarah Vowell, Spencer Fox, Samuel L. Jackson, Jason Lee, Brad Bird, Ellie Fusel, Elizabeth Pena, and Wallace Shawn. So, so the plot of The Incredibles is that it starts off in the golden ages in which they call where all supers were legal, like it'd be legal for superheroes to save the city and all that. So we're followed by this super named Mr. Incredible. And Mr. Incredible, he's just like saving the city, but like while he's saving the city, like he's checking the time for like, cause like he has to go to a marriage, cause like he has to get married in like his real and like his secret identity. So he keeps checking the time, but he's like, I still got time, and he still saves a lot of people. And then while he does that, this little boy named Buddy like ends up in Mr. Incredible's car, and he's like, who? And he's confused on like why there's a little kid in here with like a super suit, and he realizes that it's the kid from the fan club, Buddy. And so Buddy like tells him like, I'm your number one fan and I want to be your partner. And so but like Mr. Incredible keeps refusing him and like kicking him out and all that, telling him that I work alone and all that. And so while that happens, we move on to a next scene where we see who Mr. Incredible is being married to, and that's Elastigirl. Now, Elastigirl is a stretchy superhero. She's flexible, like she can like stretch so far and like make and like kind of shape shift in a way. Not really, but like she can like turn herself into a different shape and all that. And what else? So like you see that, and then you see this you see Mr. Incredible rescuing another person, but it's a guy who didn't want to be rescued. He falls off a building attempting to suicide, and then like Mr. Incredible still saves him. And then when he saves him, he makes him crash into a building, and so like while he's in the building, he realizes that there's some that like he hears like a little like bomb thing, and so like he realizes that it's Bomb Voyage, and he explodes the wall, um and so before Bomb Voyage and Mr. Incredible can fight each other, Buddy shows up again, and so uh he shows up in like these rocket boot things, and like he keeps telling him I am your ward, Incrediboy, and he keeps wanting to work with him. But like Mr. Incredible is just like telling him to fuck off, and that like he's making the Bon Voyage go away. Of course, he's not really saying that, but that's what he's thinking, and like through his emotions, that's what he's saying. So and then Bon Voyage throws a bomb at Buddy before he can leave and get the cops. But and so that then causes Mr. Incredible to push away Bon Voyage and try to save Buddy from his cape being in a bomb. And so he flies away, but like Mr. Incredible is still holding onto his cape while he's flying, and so like he takes the bomb off and it crashes on these train tracks. And so and then Mr. Incredible saves the train from crashing from the exploded train tracks. And then while that happens, he turns Buddy to the cops to take him home and all that. And after that, we see Mr. Incredible getting married. And after they get married, we see that superheroes, there's stuff being complicated with superheroes, and Mr. Incredible is being sued for saving the guy who didn't want to be saved from attempting suicide. And so after that, another suit comes up to when Mr. Incredible saved all the people from the train exploding. They all got injuries from that and all that. So And then after that, a lot of other suits came in from other superheroes, and so like they realized that like superheroes are not being helpful anymore, and so like they then make superheroes illegal, and like they tell them that it's time for their secret identity to become their only identity. And so like so yeah, so like after that, like they all become illegal. Like superheroes aren't around anymore. Excuse, that was my fridge. It makes some sort of noise. So sorry for that. So so yeah then we move on to 15 years later, and Mr. Incredible is not a superhero. He's just like a normal person. He's like a normal person. Well, not really. He's like this guy who works at a business office, and he's just like helping people out with like their insurance and all that, and his boss is always getting mad at him and all that, and then we see Mr. Incredible's life at home, and his real name is Bob Parr, and so we see his life at home. He's still married with Elastigirl. Her real name is Helen Parr. So but we see he's married with her, and they have three kids. One being and each kid has powers except for the baby Jack Jack, and the oldest out of them is Violet Parr. She's a girl, and she's in her middle school years, and so what she can do is she can turn invisible and make force field. And then and then there's the other kid who's like in his elementary school years. His name is Dash Parr. What he can do is run very fast, like the Flash. Uh, and then like I said, Jack Jack has no powers. So yeah, that's his life at home, and so what he's trying to do is he's just trying to live a normal life, but like he doesn't really want to do that. Like he misses the years of being a superhero, and so like since he misses them, he always goes out with his old friend Frozone, also known as Lucius. Um, he always every Wednesdays he goes out with him to go bowling or to like listen to police scanners and rescue people that are in trouble. And so yeah, and like we see what the kids are dealing with too. Like Dash is always wants to be in sports, but like their his mom won't let him because like she knows that he'll be the best and it'll be cheating. And we see Violet that she's in love with the boy, and she doesn't know she's scared if like she won't like him or something. And like we don't I do we see much of Helen? Let me think. We don't see much of Helen besides she's just like Bob. Sh- uh, she wants to live a normal life, but like she wants to live a normal life more than Bob does. She just wants to have a normal family with her kids, and to not use their powers and all that, and to have their kids be safe and all that. Uh, yeah, and then one day and then we move on to Bob. One day Bob he's at a meeting with his boss, and so while he's at the meeting with his boss, he looks over at the window, and he sees that there's a person being mugged in the alley, and so like he he tells his boss, "Look over there, someone's being mugged." And so the boss doesn't even care. He just cares about the meeting that they're having and their discussion. And so like Bob just decides to leave, and he's like, "Don't leave or you're fired." And so Bob like he was about to leave, but like he closes the door, and then you see that like the doorknob is literally crushed. And then he turns around, and like they continue the discussion, but then like Bob sees that the guy that was mugging the person got away. And so that really pisses off Bob, the boss still doesn't care. He was just like, well, oh well, what is it? Well, isn't that a relief? You were this close to losing your. And then he gets interrupted by Bob choking him, and then like throwing him like across like so many walls. And so after that happens, he gets fired. And so once he gets fired, he doesn't want to tell his wife or his kids yet. He just goes home and he goes to like his work area, like his personal room. Um, so like he goes there and like he like throws away all his office things, but like he hears something that is not paper, going down in the trash. So he gets it and it's a tablet. It's like some sort of tablet thing, and like it's like a voice recording thing. It's like a message, and so like in the message you see that there was like a girl named Mirage. And so Mirage tells him that like to like help them out and all that with like this robot invading an island and all that, and like according to the government they don't exist, and to come to the island uh, that supers supers can be illegal supers can be legal again, and that they're not completely gone, that Mr. Incredible is still there, that he can still do great things, and she's telling him to like join him or to listen to police scanners. So so yeah once that happens, Bob accepts the offer and goes to the meeting. But like he doesn't tell Helen or his kids about him getting fired. He just tells them that like the office has like moved on and like has taken him to a business trip to somewhere. So once that happens, he goes to the island. He meets Mirage, and like we see that Mirage is rich, and like she has like a whole like she has a lot of security, and like the robot was actually their own invention, but like it got out of hand, so like he has to defeat it. And so like we learn a lot about the robot, and then like Mr. Incredible Mr. Incredible goes down. Mr. Incredible goes down to the island and like tries to find the robot. He finds the robot. Actually, the robot finds him, and so the so like so after that he ends up defeating the robot, and then like once that happens he goes to a meeting with Mirage, and like Mirage is telling him that like he's gonna get paid now for defeating that robot now, and like that gets Bob really happy. And so like once that happens, he goes back home, and you see that like Bob is gonna help out his kids a lot more now. uh so um yeah, so like, and then after that you see he goes back, before he can go back to the island again, he sees that his suit is like broke, is kind of ripped from the battle of the robot. And so like he goes to his costume designer Edna, he gets a new suit, and then he goes back to the island. He tries to fight the robot again, but like well, not really. He's just trying to have another meeting with Mirage, and like Mirage is not there, and but it was the time they were supposed to be in. And then like from right behind him, the robot appears again, but except bigger and badder. And so like he gets the robot grabs Mr. Incredible and like beats him up, and then you see that and then you hear like a voice from coming from a man. And so you see the man, and like you see the man, and you see that the man was controlling the robot, and like he might be the one in charge. And then you find out that the man is Buddy, and then you see that that Buddy is doesn't want to be called Incredible Boy, that he wants to be called Syndrome now, and that he hates Mr. Incredible now for not for like being so mean to him when he wanted to help him. And so like after that, Buddy saw that like you can't count on anyone, especially your heroes. And so since then he's been crazy, and he's been inventing weapons. He's been rich. He's he's been doing more, but I don't want to spoil it. And so cuz it is a major spoiler if you haven't seen this movie. And so so Buddy and Mr. Incredible, they start fighting, and then like Buddy, aka Syndrome, he ends up like kind of defeating Mr. Incredible. But like he thinks that he's dead, that like he killed him, cause like he threw a bomb at him underwater. But then like he got away from it in time. So after that happens, Mr. Incredible tries to go back to the place and try to see what the hell is happening and all that. Like, did Mirage trick me or something? And why? And like, what is Buddy doing and all that? And why did he send me here? So like that's what he's gonna try to do and try to defeat Buddy. Um, but while that's happening, Helen and all her kids are like they're kind of like finding out that like he's um that Bob is not on a business trip, that like he's actually in an island. He's actually in an island trying to like become a superhero again. And so like they have to go to the island to see what's up. And so the kids accidentally end up going, and then like now she's stuck with the kids. And well, not really. Like the kids help her out too with a lot of things, and like they help themselves out too. And then once that happens, they're trying to go there. And like I think that's the whole plot of The Incredibles. Now, do I like The Incredibles? Yes, I love The Incredibles. I absolutely love The Incredibles. This is actually my all-time favorite Pixar movie. This is better than Finding Nemo. This is so good. This is a masterpiece right here, and I've loved it ever since the first time I watched it when I was like 3 years old. And actually, shout out to my uncle Richard. He's the one who showed me this movie, and ever since he showed me this movie, I loved this ever since. And like my whole family loves this movie, and they also think that this is their favorite Pixar movie. So like I love the whole like superhero thing to it. It's so good. And all the characters. Let's talk about the characters. All the characters are really good. Bob Parr. AKA Mr. Incredible. He's a really good character. I really like him. You really see that like he wants to go back to the old days of superheroes. You really see that this guy is struggling in the real life, that he just wants to be a superhero again. And yeah, and I love Helen Parr. You you really see that she's just trying to be a normal family and all that. And yeah, I love Helen Parr. I love the kids too. I love Violet. I love Dash. Dash is really cool at times. I love that scene where Dash is trying to run away from Syndrome security people in like these like airships with like fans on them, where he's running away from them and like defeating them and like making the ships explode. That whole scene is really cool. I also really like Frozone too. He's a really good character too. I like how he has ice powers and all that, and he gets really funny at times too. Like there's this one scene where he's like, "Honey, where is my super suit? Where is my super suit?" Okay, so yeah, I like Syndrome as the villain, but like he has a really dark past, and like you really see that this kid has really gone crazy over the years, and like you really see like all the crazy shit he's been doing. I won't spoil it for you. If you guys seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. And but like my one complaint with him is that he should have had a little bit more screen time, in my opinion, just a little bit more. Um, so I really like the whole setting to it. I love the whole island setting to it. I love the actors. They all do an amazing job voicing their characters. Um, I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing. Literally, the soundtrack is like really cool, and the soundtrack really fits into this. And yeah, and sometimes I even like listening to the soundtrack. Yeah. So the comedy in this movie works too. This movie is a bit of a comedy too at times, and it all works. The pacing is good, but like my complaint with it is it's 2 hours, and you do feel its runtime, and so yeah, that but like that's not really a big complaint. The action is really good. All the action scenes are awesome. Like literally every scene with fighting Buddy, all the scenes with the robot, it's all really cool. And I love that scene where the kids are like fighting the security guards. I already said that, But like I like when like Violet is turning invisible and like hitting them with sticks and all that. And I like when the whole family like forms together and like fights all the people. And I really like. So I don't think I have any flaws with it. To rate this movie, I think I'll rate it an A+. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, my favorite Pixar movie. And sorry if I couldn't talk about this for too long. My camera is running out of storage.